Hi guys, my wife's put the washing out and there doesn't seem to be very much wind, so I'm wondering if it's worth taking the plane out, the rubber band plane, and giving it a try outside. I suspect it'll all end in tears, but that's what I'm thinking. And while I'm thinking about it, I found this, which is a bubble blower, but it's got a very high ratio. So I'm thinking of pulling that propeller off the front and seeing if I can put a hook on there to wind up the rubber band motor. The propeller assembly actually had a little LED in it and a couple of button cells so that it flashed light as you spin it, but that's irrelevant at the moment. I'll see if I can just pull this off the shaft and then see if I can possibly use this, which is an electrical connector, to clamp on the shaft so we can put a hook on it. Looks a bit short, but we might have enough. Right, well the first problem is, as I try and pull it off, it's actually pulling the shaft right out from the gears rather than just pulling the end off, so I'm going to have to take it apart. Well, that's what we got inside. So big gear to little gear, big gear to little gear, big gear to little gear. So we're stepping it up quite significantly. I'm not going to actually count the teeth, but we can see that's what it does. The only problem we've got for what I want to do is that gear is just a push fit on that shaft. So if we're going to attach a hook on the end of here to attach the rubber band, as the rubber band tensions and pulls that way, it's quite possible it might pull the shaft out of that gear. So I have to have a little think about this. What we really want is something on this shaft to stop it being pulled through. We need some sort of collar on there to stop it being pulled through. I'll have to have a think about that. It's not going to be quite as quick and simple as I'd hoped. Probably the best fix would be to cut this collar so it can fit in there and act as a clamp to stop the shaft sliding along. Because I've got plenty of this sort of thing, and if we can fit it in there, then that bearing there will stop the shaft being pulled out. In fact, the ideal situation would be to change this shaft to one that's a bit longer anyway, because that's a bit short to do what I wanted to do anyway. So I'll have a look, see if I've got another shaft that I can use. To replace that little shaft, which is too short and is likely to pull the gear off the end anyway, I found these metal kebab sticks, kebab skewers, the same thickness or diameter or gauge of wire. So I've got one here that I've got the pointy end. I've heated it up and bent it around to be the right shape for me, and it's cooled down now. So I'll now go and cut it so it's the right length, and then I'm going to have to figure out some way of putting a sleeve on it about there somewhere to stop it being pulled through when the rubber band tension's up. Because if it's pulled all the way through, it'll pull the gear straight off the end. I mean, I could just try gluing it, but that's not going to be very satisfactory. So I'm going to see if I can put a little brass sleeve on it or something and crimp it in place to stop it sliding off. Because they fit in there, and that's going to slide through there, but obviously we don't want it quite that long, so I'll cut it off short, but we need to put a little bush in the middle there somewhere. There we go, that's the finished shaft. That's one of those electrical connectors. I've just cut it down because normally they have 2 screws in them. So I've cut it down to length. I actually filed a flat side onto the shaft to help it grip. And then I've got a washer in front of it to give it a bit of, well, to stop it grinding against the plastic. So that fits in there. And that screw that sticks out is clear. It doesn't actually foul on any of the plastic inside. So hopefully I should be able to put this back together. If I can line the shafts up. I've no idea what the ratio is. I'll put a bit of tape on it and see if we can count it. Right, let's start with that directly away from me. One, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to do it slow enough. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Sorry, I'm not doing this very evenly. 16, 17. Well, it's probably 30, isn't it? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, well, 32, 33, something like that. So it looks like it's about 30 to 1. It's not going to be terribly strong because there are only small gears in there, but it should be all right for my indoor type aeroplane. Well, we'll find out when we try it out. And before we get rid of the evidence or the remains of the actual propeller section, I'll just show you it had 2 little button cells in there, metal plate across the front, LED, and the LED lights up when you spin it fast enough. This leg here is a spring and it will slide out, it will spin out to the outside and it will make contact. And it's actually a colour changing LED, which is rather nice. So when you spin it fast enough, that slides out and makes contact, spins out. Actually, it's making contact because I'm shorting it out, but that's what it would do. It would go out and make contact. So you have to wind it up fast enough to get the LED lighting. But that's irrelevant for what we're doing. We're just making a rubber band winder. It looks nice. We just have to try it out sometime. Hey, thanks for watching. There's plenty of videos on my main channel with more added daily, so don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications to keep you up to date with my new releases. You can help keep my channel running by donating $1 on Patreon to buy me coffee. You can always find more information in the video description. Thanks again for watching.